Hello and welcome to our panel. I'm Sariyildiz, the co-founder of mbsays, a digital communication agency, and the moderator of this discussion. Today, we will get into Metaverse and Web3. I have four terrific speakers who are exploring the topic from different perspectives. You are all very welcome. And let us begin by getting to know one another. Could you please introduce yourselves and your businesses? But ladies first, of course. Let's start with you, Yagmur.
Hey everyone, I'm Yagmur, and I live in Turkey and work in NewGen. That is the first strategic marketing agency that specializes in ever-growing esports and gaming in Turkey. I work as a project manager here, and I take place and manage advertising projects related to gaming and metaverse.
Right. Alexander? Alex or Alexander?
Both go well. Hey guys, I'm Alex or Alexander, the representative of Hexacore, which is a Web3 studio with Web2 roots, so to speak. We've got huge games in our portfolio so far with more than 200 million installs, but that's on Web2. So now we are exploring the Web3 fields. Very excited about that.
Amazing. Iman?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Iman Taeb. I'm the head of studio at Storms. Storms is a gaming company based in Singapore, and we've been acquired earlier this year by iCandy Interactive, which is one of the biggest gaming companies across Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia. So prior to the acquisition last year, we had a lot of focus on the hyper-casual market. You might have played some of our hit games like AZ Run or Marble Run, but right now we have shifted our focus completely into Web3 space and blockchain gaming. So far, it's been a very interesting journey, and right now we are working on very exciting projects. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. And Yaroslav?
Hey everyone, my name is Yaroslav. Thank you for having me at this panel and this conference. I'm the CEO of Yard Hub, which is a Web3 focused venture studio. In our portfolio, we've got different projects, including blockchain games, white label crypto wallet solution, Web3 engagement platform, and many more. So yeah, we are exploring the gaming part of Web3 very thoroughly, and one of our games will be soon released. Two more released later this year. So yeah, this is a very interesting topic. Looking forward to it.
Amazing, thank you. So here is my first question for you, Yagmur. What is the most difficult challenge for brands when entering Web3? What have you focused on so far to make a difference in your projects?
Well, it's a brand new concept for all brands, and it's not that hard for brands to enter a Web3 platform, actually. The biggest challenge can be the activations in the platform. Brands have to get younger to enter these platforms because these platforms are used by younger generation mostly. In our projects in NewGen, we aimed at the target audience while creating the projects in Metaverse platforms. If we wanted to reach the younger generation, we actualized our projects on non-decentralized platforms such as Roblox. And if we want something bigger and reach Gen X and Gen Y, we preferred decentralized platforms such as Decentraland, Sandbox, and Engine. So after the activations, we can say the biggest challenge for brands is to first choose the right target audience and the suitable platform that is used by that target audience.
Okay, and Iman, you also produce solutions for brands to enter Web3. Is Web3 a new universe for brands or just a trend in which they wish to participate? Is it necessary for every brand to be on Web3? Is it like social media? And can you provide an example how they differ?
Sure. A lot of questions. Yes, we do advise brands that want to enter the Web3 and Metaverse space. And we also have the skill sets, to support them throughout this journey. But whether we really advise every brand to jump on the train of this Metaverse or Web3 trend, the answer is definitely no. I think the brands and organizations that want to enter, they need to have a really clear vision of the outcome that they are looking for, and the KPIs, how they're going to measure it. What we've seen so far is that a lot of it is on the engagement side for the brands with their community, rather than the monetization or the sales or things like that. So yeah, whether I think it's a trend or it's a new universe for the brands, I think maybe right now it's a trend, but in the near future, it's definitely becoming a universe that, in my personal opinion, brands probably don't want to miss out being present in those universes. It's very similar to the presence of brands in a way in the social media, right? So right now, brands don't want to miss out being present on Instagram or TikTok because there are a lot of people spending a lot of time in this social media. So if in the near future, a lot of people are going to spend a lot of time in the metaverse, whatever the form this metaverse is going to look like, I think it's a good idea for the brands to want to plan ahead about their presence in this space.
Yes, I think so. I think it's a trend right now, but for brands, they should observe and understand first and then decide how they can participate, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Alex or Alexander, Alex. So I'm aware that there are numerous scams in NFT art field, and it's expected for the amount of scams to rise as the NFT games market expands. Are solutions being created to prevent scam? And what do you suggest? What was the strangest scam approach you have ever witnessed?
Well, thank you for the question. Well, first of all, I guess the best answer to any scam would be very much self-aware, and the user, I guess, is the main sort of reason why this still exists. If we come to market sizes of this sort of, Federal Trade Commission of the US says that it's about 1 billion being stolen through scams since 2021, which makes it roughly 0.1% of the capitalization of crypto. So it seems to be not like too much, but the issue is that and this very much correlates to the strategy of our company and many other companies as well. If we wish to make crypto mainstream, if we wish to increase and expand the market, we need to be helping people how to actually avoid this stuff. And I am aware, I won't make advertisements, but I am aware that there are technological partners that we also have at the moment that would be providing several sort of not defense solution, but awareness recommendations to users how to avoid this. But on the other hand, I guess, well, as long as there is money and there is any organization, there is somebody who wants to be a scammer. So sort of buckle up, be prepared, be very much self-aware. And that's the answer at the beginning. Let's see how it comes.
I think we should write on our walls like, do not click anywhere, something like that. So we should always keep
Absolutely
this in our
yes
mind. Yeah. Okay, Yaroslav, we are currently in a bear season, unfortunately. How does the bear season affect the market for Web3, and how does it affect your investment as well? Could you also please share your predictions? I know those won't be advices, but we are curious about your predictions.
Well, yeah, regrettably, we definitely are. I hope we are either at the end of the bear market or at least amidst, not in the beginning. It really does. Early today, I had the solo speech, and I was talking about one of the biggest problems for the startups in Web3 being the dependence on the market sentiment. So when it's bull market, whatever or they're a piece of shit you're putting, money flows. And when it's bear market, even good teams, good projects, they struggle to raise money. They struggle to raise the next rounds. Therefore, losing the teams, losing users. So one of the biggest tackles and hurdles that we see, and we as a venture studio trying to help startups overcome that, is that the project has substantial funding until release. So actually, within the venture studio we're building right now, we don't care about the market cycle. Well, of course, we would love to be in the bull market, but it can't be forever. So it's always cycles. There can be infinite growth. So the main task here is to build a sustainable model that will allow projects keep building when it's bearish, to reap fruit when it's bull. So given the predictions, I don't do any. I mean, like we all know that regrettably the whole situation in crypto is now very much influenced by the worldwide economic struggle, by the war of Russia against Ukraine. So that is why we do depend a lot on external macro factors, and we can do whatever prediction but it will be just hitting in areas. So let's hope things get better, and while we're in that, just keep building. And anyway, this market's gonna grow tenfold in the nearest years, whatever happens. So if everything is great, it will grow 100-fold. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. So Iman, as we just talked, the entire cryptocurrency market fell, and with cryptocurrency as a fundamental component, there is serious concern regarding the future of Web3 gaming and whether gaming businesses should enter or remain in the area. We are currently at a critical point. What is the future road for Web3 gaming companies?
Okay, so I'll try to break down your questions into smaller questions. So it's true, like Yaroslav also mentioned, the impact of the bear market is real, right? Everyone is seeing it. There are a lot of companies in the space that are struggling with it. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people, including myself, thinking that not only it's not such a bad thing that happened at this time to the whole industry, but it might be the only thing that could really speed up the development and progress of the whole space, and somehow eliminate all these distractions and noise that exists in a bull market, right? Because in a bull market, there are a lot of noise. You don't necessarily have to have a really profitable and valuable product or project, to be able to profit, whether as an investor or as a startup founder. But most of those projects end up failing. That's why a lot of people think it's a good opportunity somehow for the people that want to really focus on building products that can create real value. So in that sense, I would say it's definitely not a time for people to want to leave the market. Of course, if you're someone that you are not very experienced, I'm talking more about the Web3 gaming, right? If you're not very experienced in game development itself, and if you're counting a lot on using and utilizing all this hype and, creating a mediocre game and then printing some tokens and exit early, then it's probably not, you can avoid the market, right? Save us all the hassle. But if you really have a strong product with a strong business model, strong revenue models, then there is no reason to avoid the market. I think if you're in the market, although it's difficult, but whether you have to bootstrap or or do the funding in other ways, but you can remain in the market, and the cycle is going to change soon. And it's not a bad idea also to enter the market at this time. Was there any other question?
No, that was all actually.
I think
You said that it's difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah, but I think you also mentioned that cryptocurrency as a fundamental component of the Web3 gaming. I think
Yes.
I think we cannot say it as a fact yet, because I don't think it's proven yet that cryptocurrency is a fundamental factor in Web3 gaming. I would say it more confidently about NFTs, because NFTs are, like truly you can transfer the ownership, and that's real, right? But crypto and tokens as a tool, I think a lot of companies tried and experimented different models. But personally, I still haven't seen a model that is really successful and is sustainable and scalable, So that's another point that I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think we will all see in the near future.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yagmur. So the shifting communication habits forces brands to explore new communication channels and reinvent consumer touchpoints, as we all talk. How do you believe Metaverse begin to influence consumer trends? What does the Metaverse have in offer for the future generation? Your mic is off.
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure, I can. I said that brands were pushed to integrate due to the rapid advancement of technology. The shifting communication habits forces brands to explore new communication channels. How do you believe Metaverse began to influence customer trends and customer behaviors, actually? What will be the effect for the next generation?
I see. Well, the concept of Metaverse is something new. We were already using online platforms, and not in a decentralized way though. People were playing games and spending time on online platforms, especially on COVID times. These platforms are mostly used by Gen Z, and this is why Metaverse and Metaverse marketing will be the best way to reach future generations. And they have already started these kind of platforms, they have already started using these kind of platforms such as Roblox and Discord. Even these are not decentralized. And the shift in communication were changing already. And with the COVID-19, people started to use different communication channels. We can give Discord as an example here. People were playing games, watching movies, celebrating birthdays on Discord, and now they are starting to build their own NFT communities on Discord now. So there will be a shift in communication channels for sure. And as I mentioned before, with the Metaverse marketing, we will be able to experience the advertisement. This is why this is the biggest change in marketing there will be. And apart from the experience with the use of Metaverse in advertisements, the brands will reach a great amount of visibility there. And using Metaverse for advertisements creates brand awareness at its best.
Actually, brands are trying to sell experience to us, and with Metaverse, we will start to experience them actually in a different universe, maybe. So, Alex, do you hear me?
Absolutely.
Is there a problem about? Okay, great. So, although amazing. All the crypto rules have evolved, the system is still in question in many nations. So crypto systems haven't even come to terms with themselves. What are the expected developments in the near future months, and what should we be prepared for? Which topics we will be discuss?
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for the question. Here, I guess we should be all paying attention to the news as SEC, the Securities Council, for example, just mentioned a little bit before to try to, pay more attention to crypto and regulating them as security with more, once again, more attention, I would expect that the industry will start maturing faster, maybe next year already. This is very much like with the things that we experienced in mobile actually, with mobile attribution just a little bit ago when iOS introduced ATT, right? And as well as Google, who's not that interested in too much of privacy and security, but still also being going to this direction. So here, my, I guess, advice for all of us would be to have a very good legal team, to advise with them very often, and always, keep in mind that even if you have a wonderful plan, be aware of something that could change, and I guess this is it. So be mindful once again.
I think it's a golden advice. Thank you. So, Yaroslav, I believe you have met many entrepreneurs and listened to many pitches. Can you tell us about the industry's growth rates when we think about it? How quickly is the number of startups and projects in Web3 gaming growing? And what are your thoughts about the quality of projects?
Thanks. Well, it's happening all the same all the time. When something is hyped, then you can expect the next 3 months you will see at least dozens of projects with absolutely the same idea, same concept, same approach, all trying to get part of that hype. So the latest trend that we've seen, this is the fit feed, right? So the Stepan being a rock star at the start of the year, and then suddenly we've got dozens of those apps, every launch pad launching their own. So it's still a mess, I'd say. And frankly speaking, I've lost interest to this kind of Web3 startups since maybe beginning of this year, and we don't even. So what we do in venture studios is that we constantly testing new ideas and hypotheses. So usually at least 10 or 15 per month, and only 1 or 2 of them is being prototyped and then built. And one of the biggest demands that we have in that model is that the project should have its business model viable, even if you remove any tokens or NFTs out of it. So it should be a business by itself, and Web3 or crypto NFTs should be utilized there as means of making this business more efficient, as making it more user friendly, maybe transferring some, as Iman mentioned, transferring user rights, ownership rights to users, and that's it. And I believe that this is the next trend. So the investors that we are talking to, both those who already invest into Web3 and those who are looking into investing into Web3, they are looking to something like this, something sustainable. Because otherwise, you can't be playing this game. Let's copy paste something all the time. And the fact is that this game could be played. We all know Rocket Internet that built their whole business model around copy pasting American business ideas, adapting them to European and Eastern European market, but that was a hell different approach. Here it's just okay. Let's try to ride that hype wave. So I believe, and I do hope that we all will see the mature process of the ecosystem, and both investors and users paying tribute to the projects that have viable business model.
Thank you very much. It was a very enlightening answer, actually. So, Yagmur, I'm turning to you, and I have a question about marketing again. So, what is the distinction between the NFT gaming marketing and traditional gaming marketing? So, in terms of analysis and understanding, how do you differentiate from social media statistic? And could you please also talk about the target market?
Mm-hmm. Of course, there's a distinction between non-gaming target audience and gaming target audience. Even this world of metaverses is something that attracts youth. It is something digital. So with the use of metaverses, it is extremely easy to reach youth, but it will take some time for these metaverse platforms such as Decentraland, Engine, etc. to reach Gen X. And we can differentiate these NFT and metaverse marketing from social media marketing in terms of experience. Experience is the most important thing here when we talk about the metaverse marketing. In the social media, you can just see and watch the advertisements, but in the metaverse and NFT marketing, you can also experience it with all its aspects and activations. So in social media, you can just watch, but in NFT and metaverse marketing, you can be in that advertisement itself with its all activations.
Okay, thank you. So Iman, to play Web3 games, users are frequently needed to buy NFTs or tokens. How does the volatility of token prices, NFT prices, affect players?
Yeah, so I can imagine scenarios that this volatility of NFT prices or token prices can, have a very significant negative effect on the user experience. But I believe there can also be scenarios that this effect is minimal. So it is somehow up to us as game developers and designers to design the games in a way to minimize that negative impact, right? So imagine if, so for example, for NFTs, right? If you don't have to purchase NFTs before you can enter a game, then the volatility might not affect you that much. But if you have to buy, then it's a big problem, right? It's a big entry barrier. Also regarding the tokens, I'm seeing right now some projects that don't even have any tokens, right? So they eliminated the problem right from the start. So I believe there are scenarios that there can be a negative effect and scenarios that it should be okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Alex, let's discuss the barrier to admission for new users, sometimes known as no-coiners, and what can developers do to attract more users and make the process more user-friendly for non-coiners?
Oh, that's one of my favorite topics. It correlates a lot with actually what Yaroslav and Iman said previously. First of all, about the the stabler the business model is, the better, and the the entry barrier of NFTs costing something. One of our main hypothesis that we would like, for example, us to explore at the moment is to make the game free for all, free to play completely, at least at the beginning, having distributed sort of revenue streams, having them as NFTs on the blockchain, but also in-apps and admon. So that's, I'm sorry, a slide of advertisement, but that correlates very much with what you said. So that's what we believe. Having those revenue streams distributed will enable us and everybody who actually tries to work with this, like jump into this endeavor, having the opportunity to be stable even during the bear market, completely continue building, continue doing, making the product good, and that makes the that not does make, but it needs the audience to be very wide. And so that means that for the non-coiners or people who just are not into the crypto market at all, there must be opportunities to have fun. Okay, I'm talking about GameFi mostly, of course, about games, not only about any crypto business, but about games. So the game must be fun. It must have good retention, must be a business at the very beginning, and only then, if you have a good case, you may add the blockchain on top of it. So for us, the answer is, at the moment, and we're exploring this, to have a really good product with stable business model, and only after that have it being inside blockchain and being able to attract the non-coiners. Of course, here there are also technical partners who jumped in already and provide such services. As an example, things like you can pay with your card with fiat for cryptocurrency. You may buy NFTs with promo codes. So a lot of stuff. No ads here, but a lot of stuff is being built. So I guess we'll see a huge leap in 2023, and I'm looking forward to it actually.
Thank you very much. So, Yaroslav, do you believe that NFT gaming will be satisfied, or we will be see in different forms? So, how it is going to change when we start to live in real metaverse actually?
I'm not sure what do you mean by the satisfaction of NFTs. You mean whether they are in their complete final form right now, or
yeah, I mean that.
Well, I think definitely not. We do see as the NFT concept keeps evolving, and like half a year ago, we wouldn't even talk about the updated NFTs or something like that. And now we see the projects that already utilize the concept of NFT being nested and evolving according to some circumstances or some actions from the player. And so the concept of NFT as a non-fungible token, I think it's not valid anymore. So the standard will be there, and there will be classic NFTs, but it's more like a marketing term right now. So these new NFTs are no longer NFTs technically, because they are already being collateralized. They're being split into different parts. So this is, I do refer to them like more like digital assets or gaming digital assets that can really change their form. And as we immerse more into metaverse and into the whole Web3 experience, I think we will see the hell new concept appearing. I've been thinking about NFTs that are being transformed into tokens, and then under certain circumstances being transformed back to NFTs. But in that process, if someone else influences it, it can create new NFTs and things like that. So I think the possibilities here are endless, and we will see more concepts evolving the more people we have in the ecosystem. Because every new founder, every new tech guy that enters this space instead of let's go traditional startup scene brings something new, and that's how we see some different angles of approaching different technologies. So yeah, answering your questions directly, I do believe that we are very far from being like satisfied and finalized in the current state of things.
I agree with you. Thank you. So let's talk about your near future plans, actually. Yagmur, what are your plans and projects for the future? Could you please speak briefly about it?
Sure. There are lots of brands that prepare themselves to join different metaverse platforms. But because of some NDAs, I cannot speak clearly, but me and my team in the agency are working on some brand integrations for Decentraland and Roblox, even it is not a platform that is decentralized. Also, and I'm currently managing a mobile games brand integration.
Yeah. Yagmur freezed on my screen.
Can you?
Right now, yes.
Hear me?
Yeah, right now, yes.
Okay. Also, I'm currently managing a mobile games brand integrations and management. With the awareness of importance of metaverses, I believe that more brands will enter this digital world, and I'm very excited to be a part of it.
Okay, thank you. And Iman, what are your future goals and projects?
Yeah, so we are actually working on a lot of different projects and initiatives across the iCandy group. Within Storms itself, we have two main projects right now that we're working on. One is RPG shooter game, which is following more of a play and own model. So it's the focus is more on the skin economy and the ownership of these skins, right? So it is a collaboration between Storms and a very experienced and very talented game studio called Joyseed. That's one project that personally very invested in it. Another project that we are running at the same time is a platform, is a hyper casual / casual instant gaming platform of tournaments and casual gaming. That one is also very interesting. It's called Kyo. So I think you'll be hearing from both of these projects more moving forward. But across the iCandy group, I think there are many more ambitious projects, whether it's Metaverse or AAA games. So yeah, we'll all
Sounds
hear
good.
more.
Yeah. So, Alex, what are your plans on upcoming projects?
Thanks for the question. Well, the first one you can see up here, you can't not see the finger, but it's pocket space up here. It's actually very much correlates with Iman's mentioning the play to own idea. So we personally, especially at the bear market, believe that ownership could be the key right now. So we are building a game with some very popular routes with our partner STT, and the game is already on the market, called My Little Universe. So this one will be a I cannot call it a sequel. It's a reincarnation using much of the experience of this one, and it will be way deeper in terms of gameplay, in terms of the mechanics, and even the part of the ownership of how users use the planets that they own as battle rooms, sort of. So huge plan here. This will be self-published, and when we build enough experience, which we're getting now, in terms of publishing, we also have a couple others on the pipeline. So hopefully one day we will call ourselves a publisher, being able to actually spread experience, share with the market, pretty much as much as we've done with Web2. So hopefully, yeah, that works out.
Amazing. And Yaroslav, could you also please share your future projects?
Sure. Well, as our business model is around building new projects, so you can ask me this question every day, and I'll have something new to say. We are evolving into, as we deliver new projects, we're evolving from their needs. So, for example, as we've incubated a blockchain-based game. During that process, we understood that, okay, the Web3 projects and games, they have this problem of NFT distributions or selling time and the time of releasing the product. And during this period of time, a lot of users leave, they get frustrated, the prices go down, nothing is happening. And one way to mitigate would be creating whitelist minigame solutions that every NFT project could incorporate and let their users use their NFTs, for example, for PvP. That's how we create the project that is now being developed. A lot of minigames could be integrated into other products, like white label or rebranded, things like that. Again, from that, we do understand that Web3 projects and even those that we incubate have problems with proper user experience feedback at the early stages, because most of the platform that we know, for example, like Usability Hub or something like that, they simply don't have the filter for Web3 experienced users, and you can hardly request a usability feedback for a swap or a mobile wallet from someone who sees this kind of product for the first time. So that's how we came to idea, and we are building the UX feedback platform for Web3 that unites experienced Web3 users with the projects that need their feedback. But where do we take a lot of those users? We need more people in Web3. That's why we're creating an educational platform that will bring new users from traditional users to Web3, introduce them to blockchain, to wallets, to swap, to crypto, and whatever, and let them evolve. Some of the ideas that we're working on, they're still in stealth mode because we're co-venturing them with other companies. This is also part of our model. So we find an industry where we think Web3 could really give a lot of new business models and benefits. There we'll look for an established company there, so preferably one of the leaders of that market, and then we co-venture something completely new that will then hit this world, but hopefully disrupt that classic market. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. A few interesting gaming concepts that we're also developing. Still early to talk about them, but they are all utilizing this new NFT concepts that we've been talking about, these new approaches that right now are not the standard on the market, but I do believe they will find their place very soon.
Sounds also amazing. So, well, actually, we have 15 more minutes, so I want to continue to ask questions if you are all okay. And Yaroslav, I can continue with you. I
Sure.
know that you have knowledge about AI, artificial intelligence as well. So, how can artificial intelligence and Web3 make a game, normal game, more exciting, actually?
Well, this is a great question, and this is a great opportunity for games. I do believe we again through last years we've seen how AI. Well, again, this is the question of terminology. It's not like pure AI. It's more like, again, a hype marketing word that people call AI. This is simply machine learning stuff. But what we've experienced through the last years in AI and ML is that the resources are becoming much less expensive. And like 5 years ago, to create a neural model that will generate backgrounds like Iman has beside him would take you a few $1 million and a year or more. Now it's a model that can be run on a smartphone, and to make it, like, to educate this model, to train it, it will only take like a few hundred. Okay, so, and we do see how new models of neural networks appear that can create things live. I mean, like from the scratch. For example, this generative art, when you just describe an object with text, and the network immediately generates it. So just imagine what was it's like. It could be a text-based. I mean, like the input from the player is text-based, and the game interacts with it, creating objects on the fly. And these objects are unique for each player. And some of them will then turn to NFTs and could be traded. I mean, like when you start ideating around this, you should keep tight and sit tight, because you can start doing that on Friday and suddenly realize it's Monday already. So I think these technologies and the pace they're being progressing right now with will bring us the hell new experience in the upcoming years.
So yesterday we had another panel, and there was an AI artist. One of our speakers was AI artist, and he also gave amazing ideas. I think you should meet with him, and you all have amazing ideas. So Alex, I have a question about the difficulties of between the normal gamers and gamers, actually. I want to ask about how the normal gamers and play to earn gamers differ, and is it easier to entice a gamer to join the play to earn system, or is it faster to entice a non-gamer to begin gaming with play to earn? Which one is easier for you?
Well, the easiest is, of course, for a play to earner to go to just a simple normal game, because over there the funnels are super optimized. And that's what we've seen through the last probably more than five, since the well, since the social gaming started and microtransactions and free-to-play gaming started, we've seen how funnels have been optimized throughout about 10 years, I guess, even more. So for a player who is a play-to-earn gamer, it will be super easy to enter any game. I mean, it's just you get in and you play, which is not the case the other way around. I mean, vice versa, it's quite an issue for just a simple person or just a gamer to enter a play to earn sort of a game, which we've mentioned previously several times. I mean, you have to, at the moment, you have to invest something. You have to have a wallet and you have to integrate it. And you have to then think if somebody you're talking to on a Discord channel is not trying to scam you. And then a lot of different funny things that you have to keep control of. And that's a huge challenge. So I do hope that these challenges are, I mean, we are also addressing them. And I do hope that the market as a whole will continue addressing them, because this is something I'm really looking forward to. I do believe that we are going to see a revolution pretty much similar to what happened with microtransactions about 10 years ago, but now with ownership, with transferability, with the whole metaverse being all around us, with huge opportunities for brands, for everybody and for players as well. So hopefully, yeah. I mean, I hope I answered the question though. So
yeah. You definitely answered. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. So Yagmur, today in-game ad purchases require careful planning and budgeting. As a result, it finds it challenging to be the first choice of brands. As a consequence, what kinds of advancement are planned and how might marketers enter the game sector more quickly? Is it more sustainable for brands to develop their own game processes?
Well, to be clear, we can say that gamers hate advertisements. So they prefer games that do not have lots of advertisements. The ads in games are so common, and the ads in games are so common that between every level, the players get face to face with ads. This kind of an approach does not suit well anymore. So this also pushes the consumer away from the brand itself. Instead of pushing the consumers from the brands with lots of ads that even affects the gameplay, the brands should be choosing more native and maybe brand integrations. And also brand collaborations can be also a great way to advertise the brand in a game. It's a great way to reach that game's target audience with collaborations. The best example for this kind of collaborations can be Louis Vuitton and League of Legends, or Fortnite and Balenciaga. So it will be beneficial for the games and the brands to have more native advertisements.
Okay, thank you. So Iman, I have one more question for you, and I'm very curious about your answer. What is the simplest way to describe Metaverse, Web3, and NFT? If I want to tell these terms to my grandma, for example.
Simple definition, huh? All right, so let's start with Metaverse. The simplest way we can describe it is basically Metaverse is a virtual world where there are elements in it identical to the real world. For example, it can be, people's interacting with each other. So in that sense, I think Metaverse is nothing really new, right? Because I think we can consider many games like Roblox or Minecraft or even Fortnite, even many older games like World of Warcraft, or many games that people really get in and spend a lot of time and interact with each other. We can consider them as metaverses, in my opinion. Also, if we remove the 3D avatar element from the metaverse, I think a lot of other things can be considered metaverse as well, like Instagram or TikTok, because it's still universes that people spend a lot of time in it and they interact, right? But I think all of the buzzword right now around the metaverse is more about the future of metaverse, which is the discussion around how immersive it's gonna get and how much more it's gonna get merged into our day-to-day life. I think two of the possible directions it can go is one is VR, similar to the movie Ready Player One. I think that's a possible direction it can take. But what I hope that for the direction to be is more of a mixed reality, which I think makes a lot more sense. Also combining, like what Yaroslav said, combining with a lot of AI and possibly also brain-computer interaction and things like that. So that can be something that we can expect from Metaverse in the future. But right now, any type of virtual universe, we can call it Metaverse. The other term is Web3, right? I think Web3, I think
NFT
simply
and Web3, yeah.
Yeah. For Web3, I think simply it's a mindset of distributed ownership and decentralization, whether it's for assets or whether it's for organizations. You know, we have decentralized organizations, whether it's your data, ID or things like that. And NFTs simply they are things that you can hold in your wallet. They are a string of numbers and characters, which have a record on a public and decentralized ledger called blockchain, which also which means that you can prove the ownership easily and transparently using that record on the ledger. Also, I think often there are different sort of things associated with this ID in your wallet, which can be a range of different things, like, for example, digital metadata, like pictures or video or sounds, as we see, you know, like a Bored Ape NFT is that ID in your wallet associated with a picture metadata. Also, it can be associated even with real world items as well.
Okay, thank you very much. It's clear right now. And Yaroslav, so do you intend to invest in areas other than Web3 gaming? For example, do you like art platforms? Are you an NFT collector?
Well, the thing is that there is a huge plethora of opportunities in Web3. It's the number of ideas that we bump into and that we discuss is so huge that we really need to make, you know, like very very careful decision, and that's why we focused on the path that implies that every new idea that we start working on should benefit all the projects that we already have in the portfolio. This way, it will every new project will strengthen what we already have, and vice versa. This new project will enjoy already having some paying clients, which are our own projects, portfolio projects. Will enjoy partners, will enjoy users. Giving this, I'm very far from art, I must say. I don't know why, but it happens so, and why I do enjoy, let's say, exploring art. I don't understand this as a business completely. This is something I have. I have friends in art and fashion industry, and they're quite successful there. But the thing is that we're from different worlds, and they are doing business there, and they're successful. I'm doing business here. We can't really get how we do that. I mean, like each of us separately. But I do think this is this has great potential. So we are looking into exploring Web3 and fashion opportunities, because when we go back to metaverses, I think the digital assets in terms of fashion items has really huge opportunity. And here I'm not talking about the huge brands like Balenciaga or Louis Vuitton or whatever entering the world, but the fashion world has a lot of indie designers, individual designers, like a couple of dozens of thousands worldwide. And imagine the opportunities they will now have when they can deliver their art, their fashion art to billions of people worldwide, not being limited by the geography, all these interstate taxes and whatever. So yeah, I mean, like we're looking into everything, and everything is super interesting. So we just need to keep our focus on whether we are building something that becomes part of the maze that we've already built.
Okay, thank you very much. So our time is up, actually. Do you want to add something, or I hope you enjoy the panel?
Absolutely, it was fun and interesting. Thanks, everyone.
Lovely, thank you.
It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It
Likewise.
was great.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you very
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See you.
Thank you very
Have
much.
fun. Take
Have a
care.
good one.
Bye.